Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of your favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Welcome back to episode 4 of A Big Trouble in Little China. We're going to talk about everything that happens from where they go to the brothel and try to break out Miao Yin all the way to where they're stuck in the elevator at the Wang exchange. Dun, dun, dun. Shit just got real. All right, so starting off there, it's a rainy night. They are sitting they pull up in a car. They're sitting outside of this brothel. It's Eddie, Grace, Wang, and Jack, and they're all like kind of just trying to like tell Jack like the plan, like, you know, trying to soothe him to, you know, everything is on your shoulders now, Jack.
Wait. They don't pull up in just any car. There's like a 20-foot long pink Cadillac with like the big fins on it.
Pink Cadillac.
That's
What's that
Eddie's
song?
car.
Is that Eddie's car?
I guess. I mean, he's driving.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But that, I don't know. That car is too much, man.
It's definitely like
insane.
a throwback, like an Edsel, or what is it called? Like a throwback to the 50s or something like that.
It was old school, man.
Yeah. Like if you took a step back into Cuba or something like that.
I never really noticed how ridiculous that car was, though, until more recent watchings. Like, just because, you know, it passes by in just a second.
Yeah.
But it's like...
And most of the time they're spinning inside the car.
A pink Cadillac. Good for you, Eddie. Eddie might have like a side business going that we don't know about.
Yeah, maybe.
Like he's running girls.
Is that why he knew exactly where to pull up?
Right.
He's like knew exactly where to go.
Every whorehouse in the city.
Yeah. So there's a moment of levity right here because they're trying to soothe Jack, and Jack is dressed in like this really weird kind of like businessman. Like, again, this movie was made in '86, but everything about it screams like the '50s. You know. So Jack is dressed in this
Clark Kent.
Yeah, like this weird, like brownish pinstripe almost
ugly
outfit.
Where did that come from? My theory is that that's some of Eddie's clothes, because that looks kind of like what Eddie walked in wearing, like just a horrible tacky suit, awful colors.
I can see that. I don't,
because I mean, it's whatever clothes or luggage he had is like, I guess, in the Pork Chop Express.
Yeah, then
so he doesn't really have a change of clothes.
Again, this might go back to the Chinese laundry theory.
You think
that
like,
wherever he got that robe from, he got that suit from also.
I'm gonna say based on what I seen Eddie wearing, that looks like some clothes out of Eddie's closet.
I would go.
And there may be a similar size, like they're kind of bigger guys. He could not wear Wang's clothes.
No. I'll sign off on that. So we'll just say that's Eddie's.
That's
suit.
some of Eddie's like leftovers.
Yeah, because it was kind of corny and clownish, I guess you would say.
You said it had like a 50s feel to it. Mm-hmm. I mean, this whole scene, the scenes from the last episode we did, like has this sort of like madcap comedy feel to it. Like it's just back and forth witty dialogue.
Yeah.
And like Wang is like, my destiny lays in your capable hands.
Yeah,
and then,
he talks like that.
I think Eddie tells him, or no, Wang tells him, try to look stupid, and Grace's like, don't worry, he does.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, they're always clowning on
they are clowning
on Jack.
him hardcore.
They're always clowning on Jack.
Like they're sending him into like a deadly situation, right?
Yeah.
And then they're also punking him.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that when Jack went into the actual brothel, he almost tries to take on Kurt Russell as the actor,
character.
Take on this character, but I'm not quite sure what character that is.
Like a nerdy businessman?
Yeah, like, I mean, I feel like he kind of should have had his hair twisted up. Like, you know how like Clark Kent twists his hair up and now he's not Superman? Like, they should have done something like that because it would have just totally thrown off, like now he's not Jack anymore, now he's like this other character.
He did have like the thick heavy glasses, the Clark Kent kind of glasses on.
I think he probably should have had like a piece of tape in the middle that would have just like solidified like how nerdy he was trying to be.
Like, he's like, oh, I'm just a traveling businessman, I think was his shtick. Like the cab driver or whoever told me like this is the place to come to have a good time, you know?
Yeah. So again, I've never been to Chinatown. Have you been to Chinatown?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you've been to Chinatown.
Yeah.
Does Chinatown have that kind of feel to it? Kind of like a throwback? You know how they say if you go to Cuba, it's like walking back into 1950. Does Chinatown have that feel to it?
I mean,
because that really got that feeling from this scene.
It is like another world to me. Like there's not a whole lot of English on the signs and stuff like that. Like it really is like you walked into another country. I don't know that it feels like it's a different era, like a throwback, to old cars and stuff like that being around. It's like really like a lot of delivery trucks and stuff like that. But it is like a lot of old school feeling shops, like selling dumplings or,
Gotcha.
and laundries and all sorts of like those types of businesses, like Chinese restaurants and dim sum and like the things you would, I guess, expect to find there. But it does all have like an old school feel. Like in Atlanta, you go to a dim sum place and it's like catering to hipsters. Like you go there and it's like catering to Chinese born people. So I guess they want it to feel more authentically Chinese.
Yeah, I just feel like that particular scene, more than any other scene, they really try hard to date that movie. Like if you took just that one scene and you didn't know anything else about the movie, you'd be like, oh, what is this old school film here? Like this based in like, this.
If you think about it, like John Carpenter, the age he was, probably he grew up on those 50s movies. So he might be influenced by that style as far as like the pacing and the look,
So but I felt like this was more of a homage to karate films than it was to like the film noirs that he probably grew up with.
Wasn't there like and there's also a tradition, like I haven't seen a lot of Bruce Lee movies, but like where he would sneak into the bad guys like headquarters, like in nerd mode.
Oh, really?
Like that, like with big glasses on and stuff like that, like work on the telephone or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
I think, so it might be like also a homage to the Kung Fu flicks that
he didn't do that in Enter the Dragon.
No, I think it was like I've never seen it, so this is a wild guess. Hopefully you Bruce Lee fans out there can like chime in if I'm wrong, but I think it was a movie called Chinese Connection, maybe, where he was like totally like Charlie Chan mode, like kind of offensive, like big glasses and trying to figure, playing like a stupid Chinese guy or whatever, trying to fix the phones and stuff like that. But
it's amazing how you throw people off by wearing glasses.
I know.
Like it works for so many different characters.
No one's ever like, oh, that looks just like Superman, but with glasses.
Yeah. So they're all sitting in the car, pouring rain, and another car pulls up, like I guess behind them.
Yeah.
And Gracie Law is like, oh, wait a minute, I know who that is. And she jumps out of her car and she runs over and she jumps in. And this is where we're introduced to, I think the final character in this film.
Yeah.
Her name is Margo Litzenberger.
Though I don't think they even tell us her name at this point. I think we don't learn her name until a little bit later.
It's like
but
a little bit
this is
after this.
Margo, like the reporter.
Yeah, so we found out there's this investigative reporter who's got something to do with, she's got some connection to Gracie Law, and they've probably been in Chinatown for a while, like covering like these brothel stories.
Yeah, it seems like a human trafficking like story, but you can tell that this Margo is like real uptight. Like she's got this, I guess, a zip up like denim jacket that's zipped all the way up to her throat.
You really notice people's like outfits in these movies.
Well, I think if you're like the costume designer, like your job is to try to convey that character just based on what they're wearing. So I don't think nothing's like by accident, like the way they dress you is like someone's put a lot of thought into, we got to dress this person in a way that like subconsciously would clue the viewer into.
Does that mean I have to go through my closet and throw out all my denim now?
No. There's nothing wrong with denim. I've never seen it. If you have a denim jacket that zips up, you might want to toss that out. But the fact that she sort of had it zipped up all the way and she's like, do I really have to go in there? I don't want to go in there, but if I have to go in there to cover this story, I will. And it's just like, you can tell she's real nervous about, like she's in over her head.
Yeah, well, this is like her first big break. Like this story is what's going to make her or break her. Like she's probably been at this thing for a while and like she's been following the story for a while, and she's got this huge lead, and like if she doesn't report this, or she is unable to like bring in this story, like this might lose her job.
And she does seem like right away to me, she's like sort of seems like that mirror of the Eddie character.
Oh yeah,
like she's kind of nerdy, she doesn't like look like a movie star. Wang's got his love interest, Jack's got his love interest, and now we got this Eddie character, and here's this other woman, and they're both kind of nerdy. And to me, it's maybe too many characters in the movie, to be honest. But
it's a lot. There's a lot of main characters.
Yeah. This is kind of heavy, especially when Eddie and Margo don't, to me, seem to add a lot to the movie, other than just being extra bodies there.
And there's like this whole, and we're jumping a little bit, there's like a whole side story to their relationship that did we necessarily need to see that?
No, it just, gives a little bit more, I guess, substance to the movie.
It kind of expands the movie, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Margo is played by Kate Burton. I'm not really familiar with her. I know that she was in Grey's Anatomy. I know that she's in Scandal. That's about all I know.
I think she's another like working actor who just steady working like for the last 30 years.
Yeah, so her and Eddie Lee are a perfect match. But we have no idea what's going to happen.
And there was always a line, I think, that my college roommate, John Arnold, liked, that when they're in the car, where Gracie says to Margo, like, we've got our best man inside stirring the pot.
Yeah.
And it feels like that, 50s film noir or, slash whatever madcap comedy type feel to the whole thing, really.
Yeah, like I was saying, this whole scene really kind of steers away from that karate film that we thought that John Carpenter was trying to make until like this 50s noir film that it has slowly become.
And then it will change gears again and get back
it goes
into
back.
like full martial arts flick.
Yeah, this scene, although it's a very necessary scene, does stick out a little bit for those reasons.
Kurt Russell overplays it so much when he goes in the brothel. He's like, Henry Swanson's my name, excitement's my game. And like he just is overselling it, to the point that
you would think it'd be obvious that he's not.
They should be more suspicious, like the madam or whoever.
Yeah.
Especially when he starts talking about like, you know what I'm really in the mood for? A girl with green eyes, fresh off the boat.
Yeah, so when he says that, the madam, she stops in her tracks and she kind of looks back. She's like, oh, wait a minute, that can't be a coincidence because we just got a green-eyed girl,
I think
Chinese girl.
I think he tipped his hand there by being so on the nose about it.
This is what's so weird about this movie. The character Jack says, he's been looking for a green-eyed girl.
Yeah.
And they just so happen, like literally like 5 minutes ago, got a green-eyed girl, which is so rare in the Chinese world to have like a green-eyed woman.
Right, I think the other woman there says to him, Chinese girls don't come with green eyes.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Well,
they even said it. They said it earlier in the movie.
Yeah, like how rare it is.
How rare it is.
They're laying it on thick. They mentioned it a few times when they're talking about like how, it's going to cost so much more to buy her back because of the green eyes. Like, I don't think we know yet why the green eyes is significant, but they've laid it on thick enough that we know that green eyes must be like a major plot point.
Well, we know why it's significant in the film. We don't know why it's significant in
I don't think that
world.
we know. Do we know about Lopan needing a girl with green eyes yet?
Yeah.
See, I don't think.
Well, not at this point. No.
That's why we don't know what the significance is as a viewer yet. We just know that it must be important that she's got green eyes.
Yeah, because I don't think Lopan is mentioned.
No, I think it comes a little later.
And so once the madam of the brothel finds out that that's what he wants, she immediately runs in to go see Miao Yin,
which is very convenient for us, right? Like she just went straight to like they got a secret hiding room or whatever. She's like bound and gagged on the bed.
I've seen this movie several times. I've never really thought her eyes were green, like green. They look more like almost like blue grayish to me.
I think it's really hard to take a light, like a dark eye, and make it light with contacts. Like, I think it's easy if you're light, like if you had blue and you wanted to make them green, but I think it's hard if you got like a dark brown eye to make it a lighter color.
I just now thought about something. Now, I don't know if jade is like a very traditional Chinese or Asian like gemstone.
Absolutely, yeah.
But maybe that has something to do with it.
They mentioned like she's got green eyes like rich, creamy jade. Yeah. Is something that Wang said earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, so jade is like... Chinese culture was all about jade.
Yeah, it's like a huge thing in their culture.
Yeah, so I think that's why the green maybe is especially beautiful to them.
And plus, like if you see something that's really rare, you want it even more.
Yeah.
So if you have this one person that has green eyes and nobody else has green eyes, of course she's going to be seen as hotter than the rest. Walk me through this because I'm not 100% sure.
Don't ask me what it's like inside a whorehouse.
No. Not that part of it. So the madam runs back and she goes and checks on Miao Yin.
There's no reason for her to do that.
No reason whatsoever.
Other than just to show the audience that she's there.
That she's there. Then that's my question. Like, why does she do that? Like, I don't know if she should have been like, oh, wow, we have one that just came in. Or is she suspicious of Jack, but not suspicious of Jack and like he's associated with Lo Pan? Is she suspicious of Jack because maybe he's associated with the police and with the investigation?
Yeah, he does have a cop vibe, doesn't he, when he comes in there?
He's so bad at his undercover role that he screams like I'm not who I really am.
Yeah.
So she's gotta think that this is, and they don't really do a great job of showing this in the movie, but she had to have thought that Jack is a cop. Like
she had to think something.
Yeah.
Because it's not like she's going back there. I mean, maybe she's going back there to like to see if Miao is like ready to receive a customer.
Maybe, but I didn't get that.
I don't even know. To
Like,
me, I struggle with the fact that these like women are helping to traffic other women. Like seems
well, that's a
moral
story.
like that's how I don't know how you do that.
We could do a whole podcast on cultures that dime out their own cultures.
Yeah,
Like,
no doubt.
that's just history right there. See, there's no way that Miao Yin was ready to be put out on the street because they just brought her there. It's like she was still tied up. Like I would think.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to say, all right, here's what you're doing now. And she's going to go along with it.
I have no idea how that whole human trafficking and brothels works, but I would think that you gotta like, this is going to sound weird, but you gotta brainwash them.
Yeah.
For a little bit, at least.
I mean, yeah, that's
you're not just gonna
get
be
them
like
addicted to drugs or whatever you do.
You're not just gonna send her out in the street because she's gonna like run away,
right?
Like so, I don't. Yeah, she had to have thought that Jack was associated with something other than Lopan. So Jack is in the room with a girl who
they sent him in there with another whatever, I guess whoever was available.
Yeah, and it's obvious that he's just kind of stalling for time. He's
asking her questions like, so how does it work around here? Like, where do they keep the other girls or stuff? Like, I guess still trying to do his job, try to figure out maybe if he can track down Miao Yin.
It kind of reminds me of my bachelor party and the questions I was asking.
That's an awkward situation.
Yeah, so he's asking her all these questions. And she's like, are we going to get down to business? Or
right. She's like, take your tie off.
Yeah. Are we going to just do this? I've got, things
all right. It's like time is money.
Yeah. And so out of nowhere, there's this huge like rumble and like almost like an explosion. And you see all these people bust out of the room.
Yeah, like the whole building is shaking.
Mm-hmm. And I guarantee it would have been funny if like one of those people running out of the room was like a cop, like the city mayor, or like the city police officer or something like that.
I guess they weren't going for like an R-rated movie, but that was like the time that you would have had some like gratuitous nudity in it right then, like naked girls running out or whatever.
They get close. They have that one girl that walks in the room with Jack, and she's just got on like the leopard print panties, and she's got on.
That wasn't like the sexiest lingerie ever, but I guess
Well, I guess you're right, because if it had been rated R, then it would have been like thongs.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where
Eddie and Wang are on the car, like, and they can sort of see like a green, like whatever like, flames or rays or whatever, like shooting off the roof of the building, kind of.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a giant explosion inside, and that's where the three storms bust into the building.
It busts like a hole right in the roof.
Yeah.
I was always struck by how thin the roof seemed. I mean, because it's not a real roof, it's like a set, but it was like just a sheet of sheetrock, like no shingles, you know what I mean? Like nothing above the roof. It was just the world's thinnest roof.
It's funny you say, I bet you if you look really, really close, you probably could see where it's already cut out before the explosion. Like you could probably see that like a split second before the actual explosion of the roof. But in flies the three storms.
They just sort of float down because I guess they fly. I mean, they just literally fly like Superman.
Yeah, and it's actually two different explosions because thunder and rain come into one part of the house. And then lightning enters in a whole different section.
Straight into Miao Yin's room.
Into Miao Yin's room.
Do you think they have like some powers that they can sense where she is? Or is that just luck that he busted right into her room?
Okay, so this is where it starts getting tricky because Miao Yin was taken by the Lords of Death, right? The Lords of Death work for Lo Pan, right?
I guess
that's what we're thinking, right?
It's weird that the whole thing is weird. Maybe they're freelancers, like even if they're freelancers,
they're still working with.
Yeah,
but they also. I feel like they were just there to steal a girl at the airport
to make some money off selling her to the brothel.
They were just going to steal a girl, no matter an Asian female, no matter who it was, and they just so happened to by mistake steal Miao Yin.
Green-eyed girl
you know what? I think I might have just made the connection. So Miao Yin has green eyes.
Yes.
This is what Lo Pan's looking for.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Lo Pan showed up
in the alley?
The alley, because the Lords of Death.
They knew she was there?
Maybe they don't really explain it. I'm sure that they have powers that we don't really know about.
But true.
Maybe that's why Lo Pan's in the alley in the first place. Like if the Lords of Death weren't there, then Lo Pan wouldn't have been there.
Maybe he didn't want to risk the gang war that was going on, somehow her escaping. But then they didn't get her though.
And the Lords of Death have nothing to do with the gang war.
I don't think so. I think they're like they do their own.
They're
thing.
just kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
And so there was like Lopan had already killed the leader of the Chang Sing.
Yeah.
So there was really no reason for him to go back and murder the funeral procession unless he's just a giant dick. But but I think he was probably there to get Miao Yin. And so for whatever reason,
do you think he has like a supernatural sense of a green-eyed girl is around?
Because he has been looking. We're jumping, but he's been looking for her, and so he has like a Sauron with the ring, you know, like he's got a sense of she's near. He doesn't know exactly where she is, but he's got a sense that she's near.
I buy that because that's really the only way you can explain that the lightning came right into her room from the roof. Like he didn't.
How would he know?
And it's a secret room. It's It was other than some supernatural sense, you know, like a ESP or whatever, like a sixth sense at play. Mm-hmm. There's no real way that he could know to drop right into her room.
There's no reason for them to even know that she's in that building.
It's like it pops up on their radar or whatever when there's like a green-eyed girl around.
Because it's not like they're tracking anybody. They're not tracking Jack and Wang, you know?
Let's be honest, though. Lopan hasn't been trying that hard to find a green-eyed girl because there are green-eyed girls around. Not Chinese, but in the city of San Francisco.
They do exist.
There's a lot, you know, you could send your guys out and bring you a green-eyed girl.
They do exist. She can't be the only one in Chinatown. Yeah, but maybe she's the special one because
this is like for another episode, but yeah, she does have to pass like a test.
Yeah.
So maybe this has happened a million times already, but no one's passed the test.
He gets that sense from her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the three storms show up and lightning steals Miao Yin, and he also kills the madam. Or I guess he kills her because he throws lightning at her, and then she explodes.
She flies through the wall.
So I don't know for a fact that she died. I'm thinking some 70-year-old woman getting thrown through a wall is probably dead.
Okay. Also, you get like Jack, as brave as he is, he like walks right up to Rain and tips his hat up and punches him in the face, and then punches him again in the face. And then just sort of smiles at him and like winks and Rain just lays him out.
Yeah, I like the face that Rain makes when he gets punched in the face. Like really? That's the best you got? Like, hit me again. Like really? And then he just like kind of taps him.
Jack kind of smiles and nods at him and like, okay, that's cool.
Have you ever wondered like in these movies when a person gets hit and then they fly across the room, would that break like every single bone in their body?
I mean,
like, wouldn't that break all their chest?
You, right?
Yeah,
like, snap your neck.
If I get hit by something and it throws me like literally across the room, I'm thinking at the very least I have broken rib cage.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always just so funny to me when people get thrown across the room, and I know it's for like effect, but it's just funny to me. Like, how do they get up from that? And again, like we talked about in Predator, your boy getting hit with a 1,000-pound log, and he was okay.
I also noticed it's like just a goof in the movie, but like when the stuntman does fly across the room, like you can tell that he has like some big rectangular shape under his jacket, which I'm sure was some sort of pad.
Oh, really?
Like to break his fall or whatever when he landed. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you look back, you can sort of see it when he's flying across the room. He's just got like a rectangular, probably piece of foam or something on underneath.
Some of that wire fighting in the movie.
Yeah, man. The storms, like, they all fly away like Superman or whatever with Miao Yin.
Mm-hmm. And then this is where they go back to Gracie Law's place.
Right. Jack sort of comes stumbling out or something like that. They grab him and they toss him in the car and they all run back to Gracie's office.
Yeah. And so they are like, well, look, if the three storms were there and they took Miao Yin, then they have to be at Lopan's place. That's the only logical place for them to go.
Do they know, is it like part of the legend that they know that the Chinese characters, know that Lopan needs a green-eyed girl, or is that they don't know what's going on?
I think that they know that the storms are associated with Lopan.
Definitely,
So they don't really necessarily know about the green-eyed girl. Eyes.
Maybe like Uncle Chu or Egg Shin knows something.
They don't talk about it.
They haven't seen Egg yet.
They don't talk about it. So,
but, on the commentary, Kurt Russell talked about how sick he was when they were filming this scene. Like, he said it's the sickest that he's ever been on a movie set, that he had like 100 and whatever degree temperature. And it kind of works because he's sort of woozy, like he just got beat up. Also, like he's drenched maybe it was like, you know, had that flop sweat or whatever.
If that was real sweat, that's kind of gross.
I mean, they also, I think it's supposed to be rain, like they just drug him in out of the rain.
Yeah.
But
and he sits down a lot.
It kind of covers up the fact maybe that he wasn't feeling good, or it seemed like natural for the scene.
Yeah.
Right, that he's not feeling good.
He sits down practically the whole scene in that lounge chair.
Yeah, he's like laid out.
Yeah, so I didn't realize he was sick, but I could see, like, so he did that while he said he had a fever of what?
100, I feel like he said 102, 103.
So how do you have a fever of 102 and you're
working?
Like I would think you'd be in a coma.
I don't know. No, I don't know what's the dangerous temperature, but 102, 103 I think I've heard of. But like much higher than that,
close.
You're in the hospital. Yeah.
Like I'm thinking 104, you're passed out.
And they were taught, like, I think John Carpenter was talking about, like, oh yeah, you were a trooper. Like, and he's like, that's the sickest I've ever been, you know, like any sicker than that and it would have been no filming today.
Is that like the Michael Jordan flu game?
Maybe.
You know, like,
or what about, you know, about Harrison Ford, like being really sick on Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah,
like
diarrhea or something like that.
We'll fill in, like, it was something crazy like that, food poisoning or something like that, because when he famously, like, shoots that dude with the sword in Raiders of the Lost Ark, like, he just whips the gun out and shoots him. Like, it was supposed to be a big fight scene, and he was so sick that they couldn't film it. So that's like an iconic moment for the movie. But anyway, we're like, maybe we'll do that movie one day. I don't know, but
I don't know if there was any changes to the script at that scene because, like I said,
it plays fine.
It does. You don't notice anything, and there's just like a ton of exposition through this scene. So this is where they figure out that if the three storms took Miao Yin, then they must be at Lo Pan's place. And Wang is like all fire and brimstone about going to get her.
Yeah,
they're thinking that he's crazy. Like, how are you going to go do this?
He said, he's like, I think, they know that I guess they know Lo Pan spends his time there in the warehouse. Like, he lives there at the business headquarters.
Yeah,
the Wing Kong Exchange.
It's not Gracie Law, but
Margo,
she comes in and she's like, wait a minute, you're talking about the Lo Pan, the most notorious like gangster of all time, who's never shown his face in the last 2 years. And, like you talking about that Lo Pan? No, we're talking about the other Lo Pan. Of course, we're talking about that Lo Pan.
It is. It's very convenient for the audience that they're all saying stuff that everyone else already knows.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
And I think they're still playing it like that old school style, like where they're just delivering the line as fast as they can deliver it. You know, like, let's just get this scene over with and move on with more action.
So there's one line in this whole scene that Jack says that reminds me of something that I would think John Wayne would say. And it's kind of weird. It kind of sticks out to me. This is when they're about to leave and go get Miao Yin. He's like, okay, you people sit tight, hold the fort and keep the home fires burning. And if we're not back by dawn, call the president. Does that not sound like something John Wayne would say?
He was spitting out a bunch of those kind of old school type lines.
Complete delivery of the line and just the whole mannerisms. I was like, that's something like John Wayne would say. But
I feel like Wang like says, you know, I'm going to the Wang Kong Exchange to get her, and I'll do it alone if I have to. And then, you know, Jack has that sort of like line like, the hell you are, you know, I'm coming with you or whatever it is. If you think about it, it fits in that like Western motif of the movie, like the origins of the movie, that it was going to be a Western story. It is kind of like cowboy talk, you know? Yeah.
So I still at this point don't understand Jack's motivation, because he's already said, screw the truck, screw the money, I'm out of here.
Did he?
Yeah, he says that. He's like, I don't need the truck, I don't need the money, I don't need any of this. Like, I'm going to leave this whole scenario.
See, I feel like the Pork Chop Express is like the love of his life, you know? Like, but yeah, you're right. I think he is like ready just to let it go.
I think the Pork Chop, I agree with you. And that's why I don't understand his motivation. He's already lost his truck. He's already lost. And it's what? At this point, like maybe $2,000, like $2,500, which is a lot of money, but not anything worth dying over. So I've never understood why Jack does all the things he does for Wang. Like,
I think that he's thirsting for Gracie, and he wants to impress Gracie. That's the only thing I can think of, is like that he wants to show Gracie like that he is a hero, so that he can, you know, get in there.
I think in the movie universe, I think that might be strong enough motivation. Yeah, he is willing to die to go save Wang's fiance.
I mean, they do seem to be really tight, but we said, like, how often could he possibly see Wang?
Yeah.
Like it's not, I mean,
Once
I don't know
his
that we
ever
think
trip-
he's like his very, very best friend in the whole world.
I didn't get the feeling.
Not
especially
when
since-
he's like trying to hit you in the face.
Yeah, it can't be that good.
You're stealing his money. You're like not
Yeah.
just forgiving the debt. But I also think there is that dynamic through this whole movie of like Jack thinks that he's the hero. Mm-hmm. So I guess he's not going to let someone else maybe be more heroic than him.
Yeah, and he's absolutely the sidekick. Yeah, that's
But-
interesting. You never really see a movie from the sidekicks
I love
point
it.
of view.
Right?
I like it too. Yeah.
Does the sidekick know that they're the sidekick is the question. Like,
No.
there's like a thing
Jack
of,
does
why
it.
is he my sidekick? Why can't I be his side? You know, or,
Yeah.
like, wasn't there there's like one of the Kevin Smith movies where he's like, you're Han Solo and you're Chewbacca or whatever. And he's like, no, why am I his sidekick? How do you know he's not my sidekick?
So in then I think our first podcast, we mentioned that they had to add that scene with Egg Shin just to kind of beef up how heroic Jack's character is.
You're right.
Otherwise, if they never had that scene, you would be like, who is this guy?
He's
Like,
always the follower.
Yeah.
You know, like he only goes in to fight when he's being dragged along.
the whole movie is seen from his point of view, but he is the sidekick, which I don't know if they've ever done that before. Mm-hmm. It's a really interesting concept. Like that would be like Batman and Robin shown from Robin's viewpoint.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is. It's a good take on the
They'll
film.
probably do a reboot of Batman soon that's from Robin's viewpoint. We can't be that far away.
Yeah. If Ben Affleck decides to stay, or who knows. So now they're off to the Wing Kong exchange to go get Miao Yin. And they bust into the front door and they act like they're just a couple, electricians?
You're right. They're like from the power company
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
But they're not in any sort of uniform or...
They're just two guys.
They're like total street clothes, like denim jacket and...
They've had no trouble getting costumes for anything else. They probably could have gotten a costume for
Right,
that,
like
too.
from the laundromat or whatever we're thinking. But yeah, they walk in like, oh, we're the electricians. And yeah, they don't look like
They
electricians
don't show
at
any
all.
kind of security badge. They show nothing. And the cops just let them walk
They
in.
breeze right through. They're like, "Where's probably back here, isn't it?" And they just they
Like, it
walk
wasn't
right
even
through
like-
the front room.
It wasn't like they were even having any kind of electrical issues in the
Yeah.
place. So like, why did the cops just let them walk in? Like they didn't even try to stop them.
They did not try at all. Maybe once they got through that room, they like put a call into Thunder or whatever, and I don't know.
Good question.
They had to have made a call because they get caught fairly quickly.
They walk in and then they go immediately to the
They get in the back. They get through that front room, right, and then
Walking
they're sort
through
of
the
like
back.
wandering through a maze of hallways or
Yeah.
something, like just looking around for. I think they're looking for signs of the truck. Or for signs of like where maybe
Or
they would
Miao
take
Yin
Miao
is.
Yin. Yeah.
Yeah, but they end up going to the elevator and they are like, well, which floor should we go to? And he's like, well, punch down, I believe.
Well, actually, before they get all of that, it's like they cut back to the restaurant where Egg Shin has shown up and he's chatting with Uncle Chu,
Okay.
and they're sort of like making their own plan about like I guess rounding up the cavalry and coming down there to help him or something like that.
Okay.
And then yeah, like as Jack and Wang are wandering around, they like see two like tracks on the ground or whatever, like where it seemed like something was being dragged, a chair or a person's like feet or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's when they go up to sort of what looks like a wall or something, but they find like the secret panel and it's the elevator, you know?
I love movies with secret panels.
Oh man, I mean, you know,
I want a secret panel in my house.
who do you exactly, dude? Like, there's so much you could do with a secret panel. I feel like I remember in the TV show Webster. Like, did Webster get
Webster
around
had
in
a-
his house through secret passages?
I have no idea.
I
Maybe
feel
to
like
the
he might have
elevator or
just
something like
he
that.
might have just ridden up and down like in a dumbwaiter or something like that. I don't know. He's a little guy.
We're in the middle of trying to buy a house right now, and one of the houses we looked at had like this secret room off to the back end of it, and I was totally like, we need to put like a bookcase door right in this hallway. So
How was it secret?
It was so there was like a main room, but then there was like a little doorway. You could see it, right?
Yeah.
There was like a doorway, and it led to like another room behind it.
That you didn't feel like it didn't need to be there. Sort
It
of.
was not felt like it was supposed to be there. It was just like the passage way to get to the other room was so small. Like it was.
Oh, it's a small door.
It was like a small door. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I mean, I could fit through it, but it was like a small kind of like off the beaten path door. And I was like, this would be a great place to put like a bookcase
Yeah.
that can swing out
on hinges
that
or
opens,
something?
that
Yeah.
opens up into like the secret like study.
That's like the
back
man
here.
cave or
Yeah,
the
exactly.
podcast studio.
Yeah. But so I'm always been a fan of like take the book down or like feel against the wall and find like the secret button.
Very like Indiana Jones or whatever. I used to have dreams, like a recurring dream as a kid. I think that like there were secret passages in the house.
Oh yeah, I mean like I think every kid has like hides, like, in the somewhere in the house, like make a fort or something like that.
They get into the elevator, right? And it's just like, was the whole elevator like in Chinese or something? All the numbers?
All the buttons were, yeah.
I think they're just like saying, well, go down, I guess, right? Or like something like, where do we go? And they're like, down.
They hop in the elevator and I think they're looking for like which way to go. And they're just like, we'll just go down. And they start headed down and then all of a sudden the elevator stops. Yeah. So obviously the policeman knew that something was up when these two guys got in there. They phoned it in, or like there was probably like a secret camera somewhere.
Right, like were we expecting electricians tonight? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could see that.
Well, I would think that the Wing Kong exchange, nobody getting into that place, not even electricians. Like they have their own electricians, they have their own everything. Because this is like the head of the Chinese mafia, basically, Lo Pan.
Yeah, that's like the headquarters.
Yeah. So nobody's just getting into that place.
They should have tighter security than a couple of goofballs at the desk, if we're being honest.
Yeah, they failed their jobs. So yeah, that takes us up to the end of episode 4.
We're almost halfway.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.